Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. In life, sometimes you could figure out how insecure someone is according to his or her reaction. And if the reaction is very aggressive and swift, the possibilities are very high, the probabilities that that person feels insecure about whatever or about his position or her position if attacked verbally. I'm going to give you a very simple example. If, let's say you're the biggest, the strongest guy in the neighborhood and you are the toughest guy. And someone comes and tells you, hey, Emil, you see that toddler? That toddler can beat you. I don't even talk about it. Why? Because I know that nobody would think that that toddler would be able to physically beat me. And I don't have to prove anything, because I know that I can beat that guy. But if he comes and says, well, Emil, have you seen the new neighbor? I think he's pretty tough. He might be able to challenge you. And I'm looking at a neighbor. Just the fact that that guy had a little doubt in my ability, saying, I think he might, challenge you, you feel already threatened. Now your reaction will feel how comfortable you feel when you look at a neighbor and you know how good you are and look at the neighbor and say, well, if it comes down to that, we'll figure out. As of now, I'm still the toughest. If he opens his mouth, we'll see who's tough then. And that will be the conversation. You feel comfortable, you can kick his ass, you don't have to prove it to this guy. You're not going to say, yeah, what are you talking about? Look at this. I know how to do this. Wow, look at that guy. He's a weasel. All right? Now, it's true that this is a generality. It's not necessary to be always like that. Now, when I'm not going to talk about Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson, the Fox News host, the most watched on the cable news, he has this Tucker Carlson Tonight, and I like him. I mean, I'm surprised that he's still allowed to be on TV, to be honest with you. Not that I would ban them, not in that way. I'm surprised that these guys did not him already, like ban him or cancel him or something. Well, I don't know, maybe he's got a heart attack or something sudden. So he was allowed by the House Majority Leader to have access to about 44,000 hours of Capitol riots, January 6th. And he and his team watched all those things that we are not allowed to watch when Nancy Pelosi was the boss. We were, I think, they released about, if I remember correctly, 11,000 or 14,000, something like this. So they picked and choose and so on. And I watched how that riot, that thing at the Capitol on January 6th was depicted and analyzed by this, from the mass media. And, from other information and watching certain things did not look kosher to me, like I had questions, but hey, this was the mass media, the mainstream. Then I watched the politicians, how they interpret that and how they jumped on this and on that side, mostly on that side, and only some remain here saying, well, maybe there's not all of it. Shut up, and they call that person names, trying to, some maybe arrest him. So what happened? Tucker had, yesterday he came out with some footage from the Capitol that he looked into with his team. And he showed, if you remember that, whatever, Quanon, shaman, whatever, guy who came over there and he was portrayed in it. He was just showing Tucker in those videos how he was escorted and, taken from room to room, eventually tried to open the doors for him by the police in the Capitol. So he was not arrested or anything like that, or touched or anything. It just the guy in those videos and the footage that he showed did not break anybody's skull, he per se, okay? And so it was his point, one of the points Tucker made was, why wasn't this guy arrested on the spot if he did something wrong, and why these guys opened the door for him and all these kind of things. He pointed out to things that would make you think about it or have more, more to the whole story. Not change the story, but add to it, and you have all the information. It's like, as I always say, let's say I have this, this, right? If I show it like this and I say this is an iPad, that's all you saw in your life, an iPad, and I show it to you like this, you go and you explain your family how an iPad is, you're going to say something silver looking, shiny, something very thin and rectangular maybe, something like that. But then you go home and then your wife comes over and I show her this. No, actually this. I say this. And he's going to say, come back home and say, Gigi, what the hell were you talking about? It's not what you told me. It's this. It's nothing like this. You see? But if you allow, because I show you only this, and then I show you only this, but if I allow you to see the whole thing, including turning it on and showing the functions, you will understand what this is much, much better than only showing you this. When I think we've been shown only this, okay? And now Tucker shows us this. And maybe he's going to show us more. You know what I mean? He's not showing us and saying, this is what it is. He said, no, the iPad is like this and like this. And these guys throw a fit because he shows something else. I don't care about his statements. Oh, it was like this, it was like that, it was like that. Anyway, these kind of events allow us to see who's who and what is what. And it's very easy to see who are the ones who tell you that they are here and actually they are on here. Okay? The ones to your elected officials I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the dictator. I'm talking about the senators, the Republican senators, with the Democrat senators, I'm done because I know where they stand. Good for them. They are like that. But these guys, they pretend. This is what I don't like. The Republicans mostly pretend that they are like this, but they are actually in the same team. Why? Because of the same parents. The parents are the ones that, you know what it is? Okay, so this is what it is. So now Tucker gets attacked by his Republicans, and the liberal media shows that gleefully. Look what they do to you. So I have a few articles here. I just want to read some titles. So one is from NBC News, and it says, bull, blah, 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 GOP senators rebuke Tucker and Carlson for downplaying January 6th as mostly peaceful. He showed another side, or extra. Another one. National Review, Senate Republicans slam Tucker Carlson for downplaying January 6th. It's BS. And this one right here, and there's a lot of them. NBC News, Tucker Carlson with video provided by Speaker McCartney falsely depicts January 6th riot as a peaceful gathering. You see, peaceful gathering versus, where's that? Mostly peaceful. Now, which one is it? Mostly peaceful is something, and peaceful is a different one. So this is 100%, this is mostly. So see how they changed the whole topic from NBC, not topic, the whole meaning, right? Now I don't know, but this is how this is like a teaching ground, like a training ground for people to see who's who, what's what. Now you can have an opinion on that, obviously. You can express it without fear of being reprimanded. That's freedom of speech. If that's, you're afraid that you will be reprimanded for your speech that might not be considered acceptable by some, that's not freedom of speech. Okay, just clarify that one. Yes, you should be responsible for your speech. That's true. But I know there are laws for that. You don't have to be cancelled if it's not illegal. But anyway, let's go back to this Tucker. I think that Donald Trump's election as a president, again, another training ground for people who really want to see who's who, what's what. Because people from his own part, when he became president and he started, I want to done this, I want to done this, you saw people that are on this side already jumping on the other side. So very easy. It was easy to see how uncomfortable and insecure the mass media was, how the intelligence community became very insecure, politicians, elected officials, and others, friends of Trump, they became insecure, and you immediately knew where exactly they stand right here. Whenever Trump, I'm going to give you an example. When Trump said, well, we got to build the wall. People that are supposed to say, yes, that's, yeah, in that party, they left him alone. His own party. Now, Mitch McConnell, the minority leader in the Senate, he's a weasel. He's a weasel. He came today and he showed this is the police, Capitol Police report. I stand by this, not by Tucker. Okay, good for you. I see what I see, and I'm not going to believe your little report done by some people. And by the way, that's part of the government. And I believe government as I believe, I don't know what to tell you. When I go to negotiate about something, I believe that guy, yeah, 0. I start with 0. I don't think that they lie to me, but you have to build trust. You have to gain, you have to win my trust. But otherwise, you're just 0. You're not negative, you're not positive. Why should I say you're positive? You didn't prove anything yet. That's why. You're like, ooh, dead. So even Mitch McConnell can say, I quit his going, stayed like by this police department, capital. All I can say. That's the same that guy is a guy. It's a wolf in sheep clothes, like what's his name, like Biden as well, but in a different way. They're the same. They have the same masters. So no, but I'm saying this example with Tucker, if it was still necessary for some, and the one with Trump, it's easy to teach it in college and show it, if you make it the right curriculum, and show how things work in this country. How mass media, how companies, how friends, how intelligence community, how military establishment, how politicians, how the electoral college works, how the democratic system works, how the departments work, how the president gives an order and those guys don't listen to it, and so on. Just look at that. See who sponsors whom and how do you get over there, and how Trump is alone. He was telling FBI to investigate something and FBI did not come back to him. He told the military, get out of Syria. Nobody got out of Syria. Whenever he said it, they wait until he got out of the office and say, bye-bye. So all these things is like, your boss tells you to complete a task and you don't complete it. And then they fire you, they hire someone else, and the boss tells that someone else to complete what you didn't complete, and he does the same thing. And this guy gets fired again. And that thing does not get completed because all the people that will be appointed by this guy or brought forth to be appointed on that position are on the other, if you know what I mean. Why? Because this is not part of them. The same with Tucker. I'm seriously surprised Tucker has a TV show. But anyway, so I just gave you this little flavor because I could have read the articles and say what these weasels are saying and all that. I mean, there's so much information, so much narrow, pick and choose information and this is the conclusion. I remember when they told us that there were about 5 people, there were police officers and so on, they were killed, and one was hit with a water hydrant or something, or a fire extinguisher or something. Remember that one? And then the other guy that died and so on. The police, they said it in the session in the Congress. They said it. That guy died because he was hit in the hand. And who died? Who killed who? It was only one shot, as far as I know, and it was a guy, a police officer from the Capitol, shot that unarmed woman. So yeah, but that's Babber, I think her name is Babber, Booba, Bobber, something like this. Anyway, if people are on the fence, just watch what's going on right now with they're trying to take care of. They all like, not all, 99%. I mean, you see them who they are, and they are over there all terrorized. Oh my God, this guy got those. He's lying. He's gonna tell a lie. Watch the footage. And you don't have to make that as the only thing. You put it together to the information these guys provided to you. You just complete it. You're going to have a better understanding of what happened. And there are some questions. And those questions are about agents, are about officers, and all that thing. A crowd needs to be controlled. If you think that those guys at the Capitol did not have, crowd control, you do this. You do this in any kind of mass demonstration. You have people that are supposed to control so it doesn't get out of control, or you can direct them in whatever direction you want. Even with they have this, if you heard about it, I don't know if you heard about it, but this is just an example that I know about. I know there are those panic low frequency and high frequency sounds that you cannot hear, and they work with them to create panic, and you don't know why you're panicked and you start running or you're afraid. No, sounds at a frequency length that the ear, you can't hear it, but your brain connects it, hears it, and is like you. For instance, you have the elephant. The elephants communicate through very low frequency. No, and you don't hear it because you have a little, this is how much you from this to this, you hear only this. What's below and what's higher, you don't hear it. Like you have the bats. The bats communicate through higher frequency. So they're very high. You don't hear them, but they communicate. Your brain hears that. Your ear doesn't say, hey, consciously, hey, Emily, it's a bat over there, or hey, did you hear that? Anyway, like a low growl, like the wolf does. Anyway, I talked about this in a different video, how some movies supposedly have this kind of, I don't know if, anyway, that's crowd control. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.